Hi guys, welcome to Financial Algebra. Today we're going to go ahead and go over lesson 1.1, which is essential and discretionary expenses. I kind of wanted to take a moment to show you the different things you're going to see on the PowerPoints as we go through this unit. So if you look over up to the left top, you'll see that materials that you need for today are listed. So in order to do this lesson, you're going to need notes, a pen or a pencil, and a calculator. So if you don't have these things out yet, go ahead and click pause and get them out because you'll need them for your lesson. Today your learning target is I can determine if an item or service is essential or discretionary, and I can find the mean, median, and mode of a given data set. Put your phones away. We're not going to need anything digital for this other than the video. And then underneath here, it says if there is a warm-up, it will be here. I didn't give you a warm-up today because there's so many things that we need to go through today as far as it being the first video. Next lesson, we'll have a warm-up right here. Okay? And the warm-ups we'll actually do in class, but you should already have your notes completed. One notes and practice. And then this gives you an idea of when we do reviews and quizzes and things. So I'll try to have this updated weekly. Notice that up at the top it says that we have a 1.1, 1.2 quiz on Thursday for A. We're on Friday for B. If I need to push that a day or so because of not being here for freshman boot camp, I will. But as of right now, I think this will work. And then at the bottom, it'll have a spot here that says retakes, and it'll give you the days that it's okay to come take your retake, but we haven't done anything yet, so obviously we don't need a retake. Alright, so if you have your notes out in front of you, I should be able to click through this. I'm going to try to make the video rather shorter than it'll take you to write, so when you're writing things, you can go ahead and pause the video if you need extra time to finish filling in the vocabulary. Our first vocabulary words for this section are the types of income. Gross income is the first type of income that you're going to hear about. Gross income is before all taxes are deducted. So if you are getting a paycheck, gross income is how much you made before they take out all of the taxes and different deductions for Social Security and other things. So it's a lot larger than the amount of money you actually take home. Your disposable income, otherwise known as net income, is the amount that remains when taxes are removed. So after they take out the different things they're going to deduct from your paycheck will have a completely different value, and that value is known as the net income. We're going to talk about discretionary and essential expenses. Expenses are the items we spend our money on. So if you have money and you spend it, that thing that you just spent your money on is called an expense, whether that is a drink at Starbucks or a pair of shoes or paying your rent. All of those things are expenses. What we get into in this lesson is the difference between discretionary expenses, which are things that we want, and they are non-essential, so once again, like the Starbucks and the new pair of fancy shoes. Or there's essential expenses, which pay for what you need in your life and you cannot eliminate out of your budget. For example, you need a place to live, you need to pay your water bill, your electric bill, you need to pay for food. All things that are necessary are going to be essential. So essential expenses are the things we need. Discretionary expenses are the things that we want. Moving on to the next section, we'll talk about what statistics involves. The mathematical collection, organization, study, interpretation, analysis, and reporting of data. In your notes, you have a section right now that says write down some examples of essential and discretionary items. If you could just take a moment to pause your video and come up with some things on your own to list in those boxes, that would be great. Alright, welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the things that are on here that we came up with for wants and needs, but that obviously might be different from what you listed. So you kind of want to look and see, did you put things in the right column? So discretionary are things that you want. Eating out is a discretionary expense. Jewelry is an discretionary expense. Getting a new iPhone, let's say your old one works, but you just want the newest, fanciest one, that is discretionary. The newest, coolest shoes out, those are also discretionary. Essential is going to be shelter, water, food, utilities, car, bus or trolley pass. You'll notice that there's food in essential and there's food in discretionary. Food at home is going to be essential. The ability to go out and tip somebody who's a waiter or waitress and get food prepared for you, that's more of a privilege or a want, so that's why that's in discretionary. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about mean, median, and mode. These should not be new terms to you for any reason, but I do want you to fill in the definitions on your spaces in your guided notes. So first thing we have is mean. The average or sum of the values divided by the number of values is our mean. The middle score when data is ordered from least to greatest is our median. And the value listed the most frequently is the mode. So what we're going to do in today's lesson is just practice working with mean, median, and mode. I'm not going to have you try this one on your own. First, we'll do this one together. Median mode of the following data set. Okay, so right now, if we look at this, in order to find the mean, I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to add up all of the values that they give us. I'm going to look at it really quickly though and make sure they're in order. So 7, 10, 11, 14, 14, 18, 19, 22, 23, 27. Notice that these are in order from the smallest number to the greatest number. If they give them to you and they're not already in order, you're going to want to go ahead and put those in order from least to greatest, because that's necessary to get the correct answer. So I'm pulling out my handy dandy calculator, which right now is my phone, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get these both in here in the video at the same time. I'm going to add these things together. So I'm going to say 7 plus 10 plus 11 plus 14 plus 14 plus 18 plus 19 plus 22 plus 23 plus 27 equals 165. So I'm going to put the sum of the numbers in my data set down as 165. And then, so the first part of that is going to be to add your data points together. And then if you remember, looking back at your notes, the second part of finding the mean is going to be to divide by the number of points in our data set. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different points in my data set. So I'm going to take this sum, 165, and I'm going to divide it by 10. And when I do that, I can either use my calculator, or I know that when I divide by 10, I move the decimal point over one place. So this is 16 and a half, or 16 and 5 tenths. If you wanted to use it on the calculator, like I said, you could go divided by 10 equals 16 and a half. The next thing we're going to look at is the median. The median is the middle number. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see we have 10. And we are going to say, wait, there's no middle to 10. 10's an even number. So what we do is we count in. We say, okay, here's 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4. And you'll notice that these two numbers are going to be both in the middle. So we need to figure out what the actual middle in between them would be. So we take the mean again. So we're going to say 14 plus 18. And then we're going to divide that by 2. Get my handy dandy calculator out. 14 plus 18 is 32. So I'm going to go ahead and over here, I'm going to write 32 divided by 2. I already have my 32 there. I don't have to reset it. I can put divided by 2 equals, and I get 16. So my median for this data set is 16. The last thing I need to do over here is find the mode. So in order to find the mode, I need to look in this list of data points and see, are there recurring numbers? Are there things that I see more than once? So I only see 1, 7, 1, 10, 1, 11, but notice that there are 2 14s. So as of right now, 14 would be my mode, but I need to check the rest to see if anyone else, any other data set has more than one. 18 I only have one of, 19 I only have one of, 22, 23, 27, those are all one-offs. So because I have 2 of the number 14, my mode, meaning most, is going to be 14. 65 divided by 10 equals 16.5. 2 numbers in the middle, we add together and divide by 2, and then 14 appeared the most frequently. Let's try another problem together. Alyssa loves her Starbucks in the morning. Determine the mean, median, and mode of her total costs for the days visited for the last 2 weeks. The following are her spending costs. So now what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video. I want you to find the mean, median, and mode for this data set. And then when you return, I'll go ahead and go over the answers so you can see if you are correct or not. So pause now. Alright, so you should be coming back from doing this problem on your own. For the mean, we should have added all these together. So we do 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 12 plus 14. And if we add those together and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we should find out that our mean is $9.71. Okay, our median is going to be that middle number. Notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an odd number, so there is a middle. If you said 7 divided by 2, you'd get 3.5. So we're going to look at the fourth thing right here. Notice that if I look at the 9, which is the fourth thing right here, I have 3 things to the left and 3 things to the right. So I know 9 is in the center. So you should have gotten 9 as your median. And then if we look at this list, you notice that there are 2 8s and everything else only occurs once. So in this case, $8 is your mode. Nathan decided not to live on campus, so he has been looking for a used car online. He has found the following prices for a Honda: $13,400, $14,500, $10,060, $15,300, and $9,800. We need to find the mean, median, and mode. Now, before I send you off to pause and do this on your own, I do want to take note of the first thing I notice here is 10 is smaller than 14 and 13, which means these are not in order. So you're going to want to order these from least to greatest before you do the problem. So go ahead and pause right now. Go ahead and put your numbers in order and find the mean, median, and mode, and then come back to check your answers. Welcome back. To find the mean, we needed to add these numbers together and divide by 5. So you should have gotten 12,600. For the median, I needed to put them in order first. So I know that 9,800 is the smallest. And then I got 10,060 for the second. And then 13,400 would be the third, which is the middle of 5 data points. So we're going to go ahead and say that the answer is 13,400. For the mode, I'm looking here, this is the only 13, 14, 10, 15, 9. There's no repeats. So in this case, there is no mode because they all occur at the same amount of times. So you would just put none or no mode.